Okay. Hello, everyone. How's it going? It's Monday nights. It's week number 27 of our. Was it 26? Last week 26? No. This is the 26th week that we've been doing it. Yes. Just halfway through the year. I think I went over this before. 508 episodes of The Simpsons that we got to talk about from our 508 episode Simpsons Battle Royale Bart kit. Let me pull that up. We haven't looked at it in a while. And of course, Saturday? Yeah, Saturday. Just a couple days ago, we did the, I don't know, my Santa hat on. It's not a stream if I don't have my Santa hat on. Yeah, Saturday we did the 12-hour long Steamed Hams Marathon. We raised almost $800, like 4 times as much as we were planning on raising for the Hawaii Food Bank. That's pretty amazing. Still on a high from that. And I guess it can go the rest of our lives that are having to watch Steamed Hams again, except for when we actually cover the 22 short films about Springfield, whenever that happens to happen. Yeah, it was a really fun day. I'm so grateful for all the people that hung out in the chat, came by, donated, rated. It's a really, really cool, fun day. I'm so glad I got to spend that with my friends, doing some good deeds for the world. Pretty cool. Yeah, let's look at the bracket. From here, Bracket Cloud. It's hard to find a bracket software that does 508 or really 512 items. That brackets don't generally go that big for a reason. It's weird. It's a weird thing to do. Only some kind of weirdos would do such a thing. So strange. Hide this. Yes, let's fix that. Restream it. If I was sharing the window, it wouldn't be so bad. Instead of the tab. Oh, this is it. This is the bracket right here. 500 episodes. I made this. I originally thought of this a whole year ago before we even started. Yeah, 500 episodes. Take us 10 years to do it. Talking about it here on Mondays. Started off with Lisa the Greek. There at week number 2. Yeah, this is week. I need to do something about these numbers. It's going to get confusing as we go on. This is our 27th matchup. But it's our 26th week of doing the show. Doing the stream. Doing the matchups and talking about them. And we're at this time now where it's time for Team Homer for this seemingly never-ending story. Yeah. Last week was Homer the Mo and Treehouse of Horror. Next week's going to be fun. Boy Scouts in the Hood versus the Boys of Bummer. Although I don't think we're going to actually stream next week. I'm going to be taking a trip, my summer trip. I'll be on the East Coast, so it'll be tough for us to do it at our regular time. So probably not going to do something else. Maybe something earlier in the day, or yeah, just not even doing it at all. I guess I don't know. But we'll close that. But today of all days, what are we doing? We're talking about a special couple of episodes. Team Homer versus the seemingly never-ending story. A little bigger this way? Nope. Other way. Bigger that way? Nope. That way. That helps. Yeah, this is season 7 versus season 17. 10-year difference. But really not that big of a jump in quality. Yeah, seemingly never-ending story was a episode that surprisingly good for season 17. And the Team Homer's surprisingly mid for being such like an iconic episode. We remember the Pin Pals a lot. Everything else in the episode you kind of forget about. Well, yeah, we'll talk about that. Let's do it. Turned off the wrong thing. There I am. That's me. So, what was going on? Season 7 of The Simpsons. All right, season 7, episode 17, 12, episode 12 of The Simpsons. What was that? What even was that? Good question. Let's do it this way. For now. It's my window again. That looks good. That looks good. Look at me. I look good. The Pen Pals episode, Team Homer. It came out in 1996. I was 11 years old. Perfect Simpsons age. Right, January 7th, 1996. I would have just, as the day before, I turned 11 years old. I was still 10. So this was a important birthday. Maybe I had my birthday party that day. I don't remember anything about my 11th birthday. Literally nothing. So I would have been in 5th grade. Fuck, what did I do on my 5th grade 11th birthday party? I don't know. I literally can't even think of what was going on in my life at that moment. Oh, no, I know one thing that I was doing. I was watching The Simpsons. Watching All About Homer's bowling league. The chalkboard gag for this episode has Bart coming in and writing on the chalkboard over and over again, "I am not certified to remove asbestos," which is something you shouldn't lie about because it's very dangerous and can fuck you up for life if you don't do it properly. And the apartment that I have with my wife, it was born in the late 70s, like right before they got rid of asbestos in construction materials. So we had a real ugly popcorn ceiling when we moved in. My wife was like, "We got to get rid of that." But we had to get it tested first for asbestos before we could just tear it off the ceiling. Otherwise, it would give us lung cancer. But we went and did some samples and got it tested, and it was asbestos free. So she scraped all that shit off the ceiling, and we redid our ceilings before we moved in any of our stuff. Yeah, asbestos, scary. The couch gag in this episode was the Mouse Family couch gag, where the Simpsons come in, they sit on the couch, and then we see there is a mouse hole in the wall, and sneak into there. We see a little tiny mouse Simpsons family on a little tiny mouse couch. Jump on. That was fun. I like it. There's one I don't have any memory of, so that seemed new to me watching it today. This episode, it opens up in the android's dungeon and baseball cards, comic books and baseball cards. And Bart is in there with Milhouse, looking at Mad Magazine. He's also sick and cracked and sniff and poot and punch. But it was the Mad Magazine special edition. They only put 17 out of these a year. Remember when they used to print Mad Magazine? There were some pretty good ones. I wish I still had hold of. You know what? Well, I'm going to go to my parents' house in a week from now. I'll be at my parents' house. I'm going to see if I can find any of my old anything to see what they got out there. And if I can dig out some old Mad magazines, that would be awesome to read on stream. They do the Mad Fold-In, which is the fun thing to do. Which is, of course, what higher power do TV evangelists worship? And they go, is it God? Is it Jesus? No, it's the almighty dollar. But if you fold it, you buy it. So comic book guy makes them buy it. Nice burps. Brought to you by the City of Seattle. Ooh, there it goes. Seattle, Washington. And Homer loves Mad Magazine reading it. He goes, ooh, snappy answers to stupid questions. Thinks he's really good at them. He's like, all right, ask me something, boy. Ask me if it smells funny in here. Bart goes, okay, does it smell funny in here? Homer goes, I don't know. I don't think so, stupid. Which is the snappiest answer of all the answers you can give. And Marge asks if he wants pork chops. And he goes, no, I want roast beef, you clod. You ever call somebody a clod? I haven't. I don't think so. It's not a word that's in my vocabulary. There's a fun thing in this where there's multiple iron-on T-shirt things you can, iron onto your shirts from Mad Magazine. It says stuff like "ban the bath" or "don't trust anyone over 10." "Sock it to me." These are not things I remember being in Mad Magazine when I was reading Mad Magazine, probably a year or so after this. So, is it really a thing? When did they get rid of it? Use a little bit of detective work here. Figure out what's going on with Mad Magazine iron-ons. Oh, hey, Chad.
Yo,
Hello.
you sound echoey today.
Oh, I can't hear. Wait, hold on. Oh, there you go. Okay, I had the wrong audio thing on. Hey, how's it going?
You actually sound more echoey now.
Uh-oh. What did I do? Had an echo going?
Yeah, like it's not like a full-on echo, echo, echo. It just sounds like you're speaking into a large empty room,
Oh. Do I have my
like reverb maybe.
reverb on? Yes, I'm checking. How about now? Better or worse?
Yeah.
Better?
Mm,
No, worse.
I don't know if worse, but not
Different?
better.
Not better? How about now?
There, it went away. It went
Okay,
away
yeah.
completely.
There's a weird FX knob on my board.
hmm
There's no way to turn it off. I just have to turn the FX
Down.
down all the way. And I must have hit it earlier at some point. But hey, it's going. Do you remember Mad Magazine iron-ons? Like Bart had on his shirt? I'm looking that up right
I 100% do not. I only remember the back fold
now. Yeah,
covers
the back full
or
cover is
the back
definitely a
cover
thing.
fold.
Shirts. These are all new things. These aren't from classic Mad Magazine. Yeah, these are just new Mad Magazine t-shirts. But yeah, 1970s iron-on transfer. But was that in the magazine? They must have stopped it before the 90s. That's my guess.
I certainly don't remember it
Yeah,
at all.
no memory. Okay.
Were you a big Mad guy growing up?
I liked Mad. I would get it whenever I was allowed to get like one thing at the store. That was high
hmm
up on my list of things to get over like a comic book or something. It was Star Wars books first, and then magazines probably second. Yeah, unless there's a cool Star Wars magazine. Yeah.
I was I think kind of selective with Mad. Like if it didn't look like they were parodying something I was interested in,
Right.
I was like, eh.
Yeah, that was definitely a big thing of influencing my decision. Remember, I got a Mad magazine that was a Star Wars one, but the Star Wars it was like a Star Wars musical parody.
hmm
But it's a magazine, so there's no way to include the
There's no way to.
music,
Yeah,
right? So it would be like, oh, this song is in the style of whatever the song is, but like I don't, I don't know those songs. There's like one was like I'm accustomed to her face, but it's I'm accustomed to the Force. I've grown accustomed to the Force, which is a song I've heard of, but I don't know what it sounds like.
I that doesn't sound like a Star Wars song. Is that a Star Wars song?
No, but the parody is I've grown accustomed to the Force instead of I've grown
No, but
accustomed to her face. And someone is
oh,
going
so
outside.
it was so it was just regular music, but it was parodied be to
Be
fit
Star
in with
Wars.
Star
Yeah,
Wars.
right.
Okay, I thought it was a parody of the Star Wars musical, and I'm like, I don't
Oh.
know what songs are in the Star Wars musical.
Which Star Wars musical are you thinking of? The holiday special or what are you thinking?
I'm thinking about one that doesn't exist
Okay.
because I was not aware that one exists.
Yeah, I don't think that there is. There's this Star Wars musical Mad Magazine parody,
hmm
in which,
But it
yeah,
was a musical parody, not a parody of the Star Wars
right, not
musical.
a music. Yeah, the parody was of Star Wars as a musical, not a the parody of the Star Wars musical, which I'm sure exists in some form, at least at a community theater level. Sure, it has
Hmm.
to. Is
Or at like cons or something.
Yeah, people have definitely done it. People have written songs about Star Wars. They have to.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen Star Wars burlesque, so
Yeah,
I assume that a musical must exist.
somebody somewhere, maybe on a podcast or something, referred to burlesque as like stripping, but like steampunk. I was like, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
That is the much that is far kinder than I've heard people derisively refer to burlesque,
yeah, yeah.
which uh you know I'm not like a huge fan of it, but I I don't dislike it.
Right.
I've gone to several different burlesque shows.
Yeah. It is weird because it is like stripping, but you're not supposed to be horny, but you're supposed to be. It's supposed to be sexy, but no one's supposed to be like horny about it. You're supposed to be
I think you're allowed to
vocally,
be horny, just like politely
yeah,
horny.
like politely horny. It's very
Yeah.
strange.
Yeah, and I think that's mostly for cis straight men.
Yeah.
I think that if you're a woman, you're allowed to be more raucously horny.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. Also, it's also weird because the only time I've ever done anything, been to like a burlesque show, it's been with people that we knew with that weird overlap between improv and burlesque out here. Like there's
Hmm.
some people, so it's all people that I have met and talked to outside of the burlesque performance. So it's weird. Like, oh, now
Hmm.
you're taking all your clothes off, and I'm trying not to be horny about it.
Yeah, like I remember there was a one of the first Friday things over at On King.
Hmm.
I think it was the first Friday. I'm not
That sounds like
100%
something.
sure,
Yeah.
but it was like there was a Think Fast performance, and then there was like three or four of us, and then we did some stuff, and then there was Taimane did some music,
Hmm.
and then a friend of mine
Yeah.
was
This is
doing
very.
some burlesque.
This is on King and everything that was going on King and whatever that time period was. Yeah.
Yeah, and then some stripper, like actually like someone who professionally danced at a strip club,
Ah.
uh, did a burlesque number as what's the name of the sack from Nightmare Before Christmas?
Oh,
The
I
sack full of bugs.
yeah. Oh, the Oogie Boogie Man, I believe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Uh, she was doing it as Oogie Boogie, and I'm just like, man, this is this this is really weird.
Yeah. It's
Like it's
weird.
hot,
Yeah.
but in a weird way.
Yeah, it's weird and funny and creative first, and then the sexiness happens after.
Hmm.
But still, it's
Like
part of it. Yeah.
mostly it was like amusing and also very talented.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like the pole work was like just like, ooh, wow, I can't believe you're doing this on a pole that's not secured.
Oh, yeah. I think it goes up to yeah, it goes up to it's like a tension rod, like kind of like a curtain rod works. But yeah, I wouldn't trust it. But I guess people do it all the time and are fine.
Hmm.
Like professionals know how to do set it up right, I guess.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and it was just like, oh, this is impressive and also hot but weird.
Yeah. It's a weird feeling. The best one I ever saw was a woman who made a dress out of newspaper strips and was eating fried chicken. And then as her fingers would get greasy, she would rip off parts of the newspaper and use it to wipe her hands. It's very funny.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. Yeah, we're talking about Team Homer though. I got started on it was it came out January 7th, 1996. So right before I turned
Hmm.
11 years. The day before I turned 11 years old.
Hmm.
So I don't know if you remember where you were January of 1996. I look up. I don't know.
I think January of '96. I was in eighth grade. Not sure whether or not we had gone back to school yet,
Hmm.
but eighth grade was when well, seventh grade was when I started making friends. Eighth grade was when I was like really solidifying like my ability to be like social and
Right.
have friends, because in elementary school I didn't really have them.
Yeah. Well,
I,
what do you mean by that?
uh, it's kind of an asshole.
Oh,
Like I was a real difficult kid to like, I think.
interesting.
Because the thing is, like, nowadays I'm like kind of smart. Like people generally don't think I'm dumb in terms of intelligence, but I don't think anyone nowadays thinks like that Chad Wago, he must be some kind of genius. But as a child, I was so far ahead of my peers that
Hmm.
I did feel like a genius in comparison,
Right.
and I never let them fucking forget it.
That's great. Now I remember around that age, just we're doing that thing in like English class where like we would just that she wouldn't have anything for us to do, so we'd have to read from the book, and everybody would just read like one paragraph, and they would just go to the next kid
Hmm.
and just go all the way through the class. And how I would read ahead because people would read so slow, and I'm like, I can't
Yeah.
handle this. Right, and then it would get to me, and other if I would count the paragraphs so that I would know which one is supposed to be mine. So as long as she didn't jump around the class, I'd be okay. But I remember
Hmm.
getting scolded a few times of being told not to read ahead. I'm like, okay, well it's the wrong lesson.
It's like, oh, don't read ahead, and it's like, why? Why you want me to? Why are you trying to hold me back with the
Yeah,
dummies?
exactly. Just sit there quietly while everyone else is struggling. Because you can't just tell them whatever word it is that they're stumbling over. You just have to
Hmm.
sit there quietly and nicely.
Well, one thing that I realized as I got older, uh, it's not necessarily that they're so dumb that they can't figure out
Right.
the words.
Yeah.
Uh, they're just not used to speaking
Yeah.
like uh, like in front of people.
Yeah. I mean, that's definitely a big part of it. And reading out loud, yeah, and then in front of everyone, I can see how it definitely is a thing. But I know
Hmm.
as a kid who's just like when a time period when I was reading all the time. I love to
Hmm.
read, and then I'd be like, I just want to read this story, or whatever. And be like, no, you can't. Don't stop reading. Just sit there.
Yeah,
Frustrating.
I was a big reader growing up. Uh, still enjoy reading. I just don't really read books anymore.
Right.
Like mostly, I'm reading like articles and thought pieces and
Hmm.
whatnot, and comics
Yeah.
still. Like if I'm reading I prose fiction, it's almost always fan fiction now.
Nice.
Like I think the last Jesus, I don't even remember what the last book I read was. I know the last book I bought was Gideon the Ninth, but I didn't get started on that yet.
Oh.
I've heard a lot of good things about
Yeah.
it. It's like uh, some sort of space lesbian necromancer or
Oh.
something.
Cool. Cool.
Yeah, yeah, it sounds great. Like just on that alone.
Yeah. I think about something that John Gabris has said on his podcast a few times about how his dad died when he was young. His dad was like
Hmm.
50 or something when he died, and had like a brain tumor or something. But like the thing that always struck him, and he thinks about a lot, and now it's in my head, is that his dad died with just like a bookshelf just full of books that he was gonna read when he retired, and then he
Hmm.
just never got to it. Like, yeah, I don't want to do that. That's why there's 996 Ukrainian games I gotta get through before I die.
Yeah, you don't want to die without playing all those video games.
Yeah, or all these episodes of The Simpsons, or it's probably things I should be doing with my family.
Maybe watch Simpsons with them
I
or
guess
play
so.
video games with them. I
Yeah,
don't
I
know.
don't know. Figure something out. I want to go see them. I'll be seeing them in a week, so I'll figure that. I'll make sure to make the most of my time out there with them. That's the deal. You never know when something's in your brain's gonna stop working right.
Hmm. It's like it could explode at any time,
Yeah,
really.
really can. So things that explode. In this episode, I haven't really gotten into this episode other than I got to the first uh when Bart was talking about the Iron-Ons from the Mad Magazine. That's where I'm at in this episode of The Simpsons. Which, yeah, Mad Magazine Iron-Ons, I don't think were a thing, or at least not in our lifetimes. This is one of those things where the Simpsons is teaching us stuff about adult stuff, things that they knew about in the 70s and 80s, I guess.
Hmm. This is definitely stuff that was happening when whoever wrote this episode was young.
Yeah, they probably hadn't even read a Mad magazine in a while.
Mike Scully,
Yeah,
he
classic.
was the showrunner for a while.
Oh, okay.
Was he the one that went in the Titan submarine?
Oh, did
I
he?
know one of the I know one of the Simpsons showrunners at some point went in the submarine. Not the time that it catastrophically imploded.
Right. No, because that would have been a much bigger part of the story. Let's see. When I search Titan Submarine Simpsons, the first thing that auto completes is Simpsons prediction. So now I am
Hmm.
wondering what that is. Oh, that was the time that Homer was on a submarine in the what you go Simpsons Tide. Is that really a prediction, or is that just a parody of a submarine movie?
Kind of feel like it was just a parody of submarine movie, but
Yeah,
we would have to watch it again to make
that's
sure.
true. To watch it again, but Mike
Mike
Reese.
Rice,
Yeah, Rice,
Reese,
Reese. Who knows?
I don't know. Reyes.
Reyes,
That's probably not how
Reyes.
it's
Yeah,
pronounced.
like a snake.
Reiss. But Mike Scully's name is familiar.
Yeah, he's definitely. We've seen his name on a lot of Simpsons stuff. He's a
Hmm.
longtime Simpson writer, showrunner, all that stuff. It's classic era. Yeah, Bart gets the T-shirt. Where we're at? Where am I? Want to skip anything good? Like when Homer and Moe are just sitting in an empty bar because their friends aren't around anymore because they all get mistresses,
Hmm.
mistresses. Who knows? Who has multiple mistresses? That's a real question.
I think that because they have one each, it's still considered plural of
Yeah,
mistress.
yeah, yeah. It's not the same mistress for all three of them. Barney, Lenny, and
Hmm.
Carl. Oh, yeah, that's another thing to go on the Venn diagram.
I actually went back while I was watching this. I paused it, and then I went back and watched Fat Man and Little Boy
Oh, you did? Okay.
because not the whole episode, but I wanted to see all of Bart's shirt designs to see whether or not
Oh,
anything was lifted from this.
right. You see any overlap?
The closest thing was there was a shirt in Fat Man and Little Boy that was Life Ends at 10,
Oh, yeah.
and then this one has a I think it was Don't Trust Anyone Over 10.
Yeah. It's just
That
funny.
is the closest that I've seen.
I would get that shirt, but I don't know. It's a grown man if you wear that shirt. Is that weird?
Life Ends at 10 or Don't Trust Anyone Over 10.
Don't trust anyone over 10.
Yeah, that's weird.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna. I'll get one for my nephew. He's around that age.
Hmm.
He might be 10. Around there. Yeah. But Homer and Moe, they go to the bowling alley. They can't bowl because they're not. It's league night. You ever been in a bowling league?
I have not been in any kind of, well, I actually have been in a pool league. I've never been in a
Oh.
bowling league.
Hmm. Yeah. I've only been in any kind of organized league before, like playing soccer when I was 9 years old or something. But yeah, I've been to the bowling alley before on league night and been like, oh, guess we're not allowed to bowl.
I
Cool.
guess I'm just gonna play some video
Yeah,
games.
let's go to the arcade and have a couple drinks.
Hmm.
I'm amazed by how often I end up bowling when I go to the mainland. because like we'll
I,
go
I
end up in
guess
like
it's a bigger thing over there.
I think so, and also like we end up going to like smaller towns where there's not a lot of stuff to do, and you don't want to just go to a straight bar, but where can you go where you can still get a couple of drinks, do
Hmm.
stuff, and it's not like a Chili's. Just end up at a bowling alley.
Did you go to Lucky Strike down here?
No, it's the one at the mall. That's like a Dave and
Yeah,
Buster's, but more
but
grown
it
up.
also has a bowling alley.
Oh no, I didn't know that. Is it a full size bowling alley?
No,
Oh, okay,
it's got like some lanes.
right. Well, are they like full size lanes? I guess because I've seen like miniature ones at other arcades that are like half the size or something. You know what I mean?
I don't know whether or not they're full size, but
Oh,
they
okay,
only have like a few.
right. There is one of the apartments down in Chinatown, in the apartment buildings, the nicer ones. They have a bowling alley in their basement.
Honolulu Park Place, I believe,
Yeah,
because it's either that or Honolulu Tower, and both of them are on like the same block.
yeah. I think I've been to Honolulu Park Place. We knew someone who lived there, and we
Hmm.
didn't actually go bowling. We just hung out in the whatever the lounge is right outside of it. That'd be pretty cool.
One of the places that I enjoy staying at in Vegas is the Orleans,
Hmm,
which does have a full-size bowling alley inside of the hotel casino.
cool.
I never go bowling, but I
Hmm,
always think about
yeah.
it. There's also a theater in there, a movie theater.
Oh, cool.
I do watch movies
Nice.
movies when I go there.
Like current movies in the theater kind of theater stuff, or like
Yeah,
I guess okay, cool.
like that's where I saw Solo.
Oh, nice.
I saw Solo there. I saw Detective Pikachu.
Cool. Still on my list. I started watching it when I had my HBO free trial during the pandemic, and then I never finished it.
I want to say that I watched a John Wick, but I'm not sure.
Hmm. That's
I
another
know
movie
at
I
least
watch.
I know at
There's two
least
of
one
them.
John Wick I watched while I was getting totally shit faced in first class on an airplane.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because I was just like, oh, I'm in first class. I guess I
Yeah.
better just make the most of this and drink.
Hell yeah.
Because that was when Hawaiian first started offering the opportunity for you to bid on first class
Oh,
seats. If
cool.
they couldn't sell them all at regular price, then they just auctioned them off.
Right. Yeah, I feel like
So I
that's
got it for, I want to say, maybe about $50 lower than regular.
cool. Oh, okay, well, it's still a lot. I feel like because I my in-laws, since this is our honeymoon to Italy, they paid for us to upgrade to first class for our trips, our transatlantic trips, and it's
Ooh.
yeah, which is like oh it's like they could have bought a used car for that much, but
Hmm.
yeah, that was our wedding gift, I guess. And
Oh,
then
that's
yeah,
nice.
and they don't have all their grandkids are grown and their house is paid off and stuff. So like and they're still working in their 70s. So it's like yeah, they have money and would like to spend it on family stuff every once in a while. So good for us. I really appreciate it. It's cool. It'll be my first time flying first class. That'll be fun.
First time I ever flew first class was right after my grandma died,
Hmm.
and I got those what is it, grieving tickets? Is
Oh,
that what they're
okay.
called?
Yeah, I think so.
Where they're just like they'll basically just seat you wherever there's room.
Hmm.
And it turned out that wherever there was room, I got bumped up to first class.
Nice.
But I was so exhausted on that flight, I didn't even get to enjoy it.
Hmm.
Like as soon as they said that you could recline your seat, I tested out the recliner, and then uh, I was just like, "Oh, there's still another thing that I can recline." And then the footrest popped out, and
Ooh.
it's like, "Oh, it's a recliner and a foot."
That's awesome.
I was determined not to waste it the second time when I got the auction things. I'm just like,
Right.
I'm just gonna keep drinking
Yeah. Get
the
my
whole
money's worth out of
flight.
this.
Yeah. But yeah, I think I had like from from Honolulu to LAX, I think I had like 9 glasses of prosecco.
Wow.
Yeah, so I was s- pretty drunk when the plane landed at 5:30 in the morning.
That's awesome. Yeah, I've gotten to where I will fall asleep on the plane before it even takes off. Pretty good.
That happens to me
Yeah.
sometimes.
Because it helps when I'm traveling with my wife, because then we can put up the armrest between us and then just like lean on each other, so you get that extra
Hmm.
space and that extra ability to lean a little bit more that you
Yeah,
don't
that's
get
nice.
normally. Yeah.
Hmm.
But yeah, bowling. Um, Homer, Apu, and Mo decide they're gonna be a bowling team, but they're short one man, so they get Otto to join them of all people, who's playing the
Hmm.
claw machine. I think we've talked about the claw machine before.
Yeah.
And I was trying to catch a lobster harmonica out of there. We know that catching an actual real live lobster out of a claw machine pretty much impossible, even though those do exist. Live lobster claw machines. I'm gonna do some research because I feel like if somebody's done it, it's probably on YouTube, right?
Maybe.
Maybe. See, the thing with a lobster claw machine is that the second that claw tries to grab the lobster, it moves out of the way because it's a living thing that generally doesn't want to be grabbed by claws.
Yeah, because if the lobster is dead, then it's gonna taste awful.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Like you have to murder the lobster like as you're cooking or right before you cook.
Right. Yeah. That's the whole thing about crustaceans. They release some sort of chemical or something when they die,
Hmm.
makes them taste bad. So lobsters and crabs have to do that. Yeah. There's a 90-second video on YouTube of someone catching a lobster with the machine. So it's possible. Can be done.
Okay. Are we gonna ride on that tonight?
Ah, sure. Why not? Let me keep that open. Ooh.
And then so obviously because the episode is called Team Homer,
Right.
bowling is the main plot, and Bart and the Skull Revolution is a subplot.
Right.
But it's given a lot of time.
Yeah. And it's weird because it doesn't. Well, I feel like at this time period, 1980s, like school uniforms, especially in like public schools, was becoming a real big thing and that people were. It's very controversial.
Hmm.
And the Simpsons really wanted to plant their flag on saying how much it's gonna kill the children's creativity and make them all the same and all those things.
Hmm.
Have you ever had to wear school uniforms? You ever went to a school that did that?
Nope.
No.
I went to public schools that had a lot of poor kids, so
Mm,
there was never a question about whether or not there would be a uniform.
right. Because one of the arguments I've heard for school uniforms is that like if everyone has to wear the same clothes, then it doesn't matter if you're rich or poor. Like everybody, all the kids are all wearing the same thing. Then that's one less thing that they have to differentiate themselves. But then they still find
Hmm.
ways with their accessories and things. They'll always find a way.
Yeah, and but I I always figured having the poor kids there was good because then the parents are like, I can't spend money to buy a uniform.
Right.
Well, in elementary school, the elementary school that I went to was well off enough that uh, if they wanted to, they could have fucking given us uniforms. But no, there was no uniform in my elementary
Nah.
school. I didn't even have to wear a PE uniform until intermediate.
Nice. I don't remember. I feel like what school I went to did have PE uniforms, but only one, and then the rest didn't. I don't remember what year that was. Because I grew up in an army family, and I went to a different school every year for 7 or 8 years. I think I did the math once. So I don't know what school I was at any given time,
Yeah,
what I
okay.
was doing. But I do know that one time I did have a school PE uniform. Couldn't tell you which school that was. Definitely not high school. Oh, and Homer he finds out that they have to if they want to register their bowling team. It's gonna cost $500. So he figures out how he's gonna raise $500, and it immediately cuts to Homer and Marge in bed, and her saying, "No, I will not pay you $500 for sex." So that was very funny.
I like how Homer thought it was a win-win situation.
Yes.
He's like, "You get something, I get something, we're all happy."
Yeah. And she explains, "I don't have that kind of money for sex."
And even if she did, it's immoral.
It's true.
Have you ever asked your wife to pay you for sex?
No, but I feel like I'm gonna have to whenever I need to start upgrading my streaming setup. I'm gonna have to be able
Hmm.
to pay for that somehow. And until we make affiliate, we're not gonna be able to make any money at all off of the stream.
Yeah.
Which one? Let me see where we at. Just out of curiosity, because in order to make affiliate on Twitch, we have the minimum number of followers. That's done already. But
Okay, now we have
we
to
have
have
the
the
minimum
average
number
viewer
of
count.
yes, the average viewer count. So there's also a minimum number that you have to minimum number of streams per month and a minimum number of hours. So we've definitely hit that. So really, we're just trying to get up over average 3 at a time, which is like that's at through the whole stream. Is the thing. It
Hmm.
needs to average out to 3, and I think we're at 2 something. 2.7 right now. So we're close. We're
Yeah.
close. If we do one more marathon in the next 30 days, we could do it. But I'm just going to not stream at all for the next 30 days instead. So take
Hmm.
that, statistics.
Uh, how are you gonna get your numbers up? Divide by 0.
Yes. I think we can do it. I think we can do it. By the end of the year, it's possible for us to hit affiliate. And we can
Yeah.
just have
We just need to get like a couple more fans, I
yeah, a
think.
couple more fans. I need to start. All of my Twitch friends that I've made are like
Hmm.
they're all on and streaming and hanging out like in the afternoon time, like right after
Hmm.
work before the time that we're normally streaming. So like there are a lot of people on the mainland. But like by the time we start our stream, there it's already like after midnight for people on the East Coast, so they're going to bed.
Yeah.
That's like I
Yeah,
need
you need to make some like
Australian friends.
Australian
Yeah,
friends.
that's what it is. I need to start hanging out more around this time of day instead of a few hours earlier. I'll start making more friends that are actually awake when we're streaming. That'll be nice.
Hmm. Or people on the direct opposite side of the world.
Yeah, that's true. Catch those Europeans waking up in the morning.
Hmm. Just be like, don't you want to wake up to a famous American sitcom?
Yeah, it's pressure in their minds because it took an extra 10 years to get over there or whatever.
Hmm.
But yeah, where are we at? Oh yeah, so Bart he brings his T-shirt to school and it says "Down with homework" with a big broken pencil.
Yeah, and it causes a riot.
Yeah, and then we see. Oh wait, what is 22 Short Films About Springfield? What episode is that? Because it's also season 7.
Hmm.
Season 7, episode 21. So 9 episodes from now. Um, but in that, during the montage where they do the theme song for the Superintendent and Skinner show, they show clips from this episode of kids running over the Super Nintendo Chalmers head and stuff. Because all of the clips in that montage are from earlier episodes, and this is
Hmm.
one of them. So it's a good connection to what we just saw over and over again a couple days ago.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a riot. They
Uh.
they flip the teacher's desk over and it bursts into flames, which is a fun bit that I always like.
Hmm. And then when Bart gets in trouble and he has to
This,
go to Skinner's
yeah,
office, Skinner has a Vietnam flashback.
yeah, yeah. It's so funny because yeah, his 70s unit was wearing a funny T-shirt that got them all distracted, and then they got captured and they ended up in a POW camp. And they had to they fed them this thin gruel of the fish and vegetables, prawns.
And 4 different kinds of
Yeah,
rice.
4 different kinds of rice. And it drove him close to madness trying to find it here in the States because they can never get the spices right. It's such a funny turn on that story.
Hmm.
So my mom's Vietnamese, and she would cook Vietnamese food growing up, but never. She doesn't like speaking the language at all. So like when she
Hmm.
would make pho, she just called it beef noodle soup. I was like, okay, we'll have some beef soup. That's and it's also when she'd have to explain it to people, it's just the easiest way to do it instead of trying to use the language. So
Hmm.
there's one dish that she would make that is like pork simmered in fish sauce, and there's like an egg in there. I don't know what it's called, so I can't find it or find a recipe for it. So I don't know how to make it. So I'm gonna talk to her about it this week when I go home. See if she can teach me how to make it. It makes everything smell like fish sauce for a mile around, but it's so good.
Hmm. Do you have any Vietnamese friends?
No. You're my only
Okay,
Asian
because
friend. That's not true.
I was
Oh.
gonna say, if you have Vietnamese friends, you could try and describe it to them and see if they can figure it out.
Yeah, that's true. I know a Vietnamese guy. Used to work with one. I think we're Facebook friends.
Like, is he first generation?
No. I think he's like half. But he should be able to give me some clues, maybe. But I'm going to talk to my
Okay.
mom first. She can at least teach me how to do it. And then I don't even have to look up a recipe.
Yeah,
And
you'll
then,
get it straight from the horse's mouth,
yeah,
as it were.
it'll give me a reason to talk to my mom. I have to make sure to do
Hmm.
that. Especially after she got all of her friends to donate so much money to the food bank on Saturday. It was very
Hmm. Shattering
cool. Yeah, our
our
initial
goal.
goal. Yeah, very cool.
Yeah, we raised so much money. The food bank actually liked our post,
They actually
which
cared this year.
I don't think they usually do.
They usually don't. That's true. Maybe they're just better at social media now after
Hmm.
3 years of doing this.
I think they know that we earned it this year.
Yeah. Oh, I
We
don't think
earned that
I don't usually don't post the full amount. I guess maybe I don't know. I have to look back at the old posts.
hmm Yeah, I think you usually don't post the full amount because it's not a super high number.
Yeah. Given the super high number of hours that we stream for, you'd think it
Yeah,
would be a higher amount raised.
like mm, the first two or three that we did, I think that we're posting pretty respectable numbers.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
And how many did we do in 2020?
I feel like we did them for starting from the July 4th. We did it for most of the major holidays where we had a day off, I think. So we definitely did it for Halloween.
Hmm. Yeah,
Did
we
we do
definitely did it for Labor Day.
Labor
This
Day?
one in September.
Yeah. So it was almost every month, I think, for that second half of the year.
Hmm.
Because we did like 2 or 3 lost ones, and then we also did the Castle Rock one.
Yeah.
So we did 3 or 4 altogether, I think, that year. So yeah, definitely diminishing returns. I think once a year is good, plus the 12 days of musical miss.
Yeah.
But that's something that's spread out over 12 days. Gives people a lot of opportunities. Yeah, you'll look up all the numbers. The full numbers we've raised. But speaking of money, Homer goes to Mr. Burns' office, who is all high in ether because he was getting his nails filed by Smithers. He's
Hmm.
all hopped up in ether. And he thinks that Homer is the poppin' fresh, the Pillsbury Doughboy. Pillsbury Doughboy.
So he starts poking at Homer first in his stomach, and then he starts poking him around the eyes, which brings us to my Frinkiac.
Yeah. Let me open that up right here.
I
I like
did
that you
my
made the
best to
GIF.
try and make it a looping GIF.
Right. Oh, yeah. It's good. I think you caught Mr. Burns's motion pretty good. Yeah. Homer doesn't repeat his hand movement.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's good though. It's good. It's funny. It's funny just watching you get poked in the eyes. It's like watching kids with dogs just reaching in and
Hmm.
grabbing their faces and stuff.
But yeah, when he's poking Homer in the stomach, he's like hee, and then he starts poking Homer in the eye, and he's like hee, ow.
Very funny. Yeah, Homer explains to everybody that Burns is all high on something. So Hans Mole Man goes in and asks for $17 for a new push broom rebristling. And then I saved it somewhere. It's gonna be a sound alert at some point on this show. This is not my Frankiac, but what did I save? Oh no! But Mr. Burns thinks that he's the TV leprechaun, and he's gonna get his lucky charms. We get just from outside the room. Oh no, my brains! Turn that off. Oh no, my brains! So that'll be a sound command later on. Much like our Hawaii one. Where's the chat?
Stop saying Hawaii in there.
Which Chad you can't hear, but you know what it
No, I can't.
is. Unless you see, Chad, this is what happens when you don't simultaneously watch the stream on Twitch while we're streaming. You miss out on sound alerts. And that's the only negative thing. But yeah. What else happens in the episode? Oh yeah. We do get do we have the list of all of the different teams that they play against in the bowling league?
I don't think so.
It's strange that's not on the wiki. It should be. Because we get the all the people from the TV station. We get the Holy Rollers with all the oh, the thing about the Simpsons wiki, there's a bunch of tabs at the top that you don't really think of as being a part of the article. The episode has the main episode stuff, but references. There's a references tab that does have something in here about it. They got the Pin Pals, Homer, Pumo, Otto, and then Mr. Burns. The Channel 6 team with Kent Brockman, Arnie Pie, Pie in the Sky, Bumblebee Man, Krusty the Clown. The DMV Regulation Kings with Patty and Selma and two unnamed characters. This is funny. The Springfield Police Framers with Chief Wiggum, Lou, Eddie, and Snake Jailbird. And they unchain him, and then he runs off. They have to forfeit. That's pretty funny. Then the deep cut is the Homewreckers, which has Princess Cashmere the Stripper, Lurleen Lumpkin, Shock the Bowler, and Mindy Simmons. That's it, Mindy Simmons. The woman who was Homer's co-worker, and he was going to have to cheat on his wife with, but then didn't. And the stereotypes: Cletus, the Sea Captain, and Groundskeeper Willie, and Luigi.
Yeah, and Apu says that he was asked to be on that team.
Which is yeah, he would be on the stereotypes team. I don't think there was any good Apu stuff in this episode. I think everything was very, very cringe whenever he said anything. I'm trying to think of anything he did that was. Usually there's something, but this one I don't think anything from a Apu hit me. In this one.
Not really.
Yeah.
And then they're the league champions, the Holy Rollers.
Yeah. With blessings from God to help them knock over pins and shock their enemies with lightning or static electricity. Yeah, they play against all of them, and they do really well. So,
Yeah. Homer is very excited to tell Marge about how his cheers are making the team win.
Yeah. It's a team effort. It's part of the team. That's what he does. And he couldn't remember even who knocked over the pins. It doesn't matter. The Otto guy? You ever hit a 7-10 split? You ever? I don't think I've ever done one. Well, I've gotten one, but I've never actually, knocked over the pins.
I've not done it myself. I've seen it done
Oh,
in
cool.
person though. Basically, what the guy that I saw, what he did was he just whipped the ball as hard as he could. Like he deliberately went lighter.
Hmm. Ah. So you get more
And
speed.
then, yeah, he just chucked it. It was like halfway down the lane before it even touched the ground. And then all the momentum from the ball hit the pin, so the pin ricocheted around
All right.
in the back.
Just prayed that it would hit the other
Yeah.
pin.
hmm
I guess that's how you
And
have to
I've
do it.
seen him do that multiple times, and
Hmm.
it worked once.
All right. Yeah, and then that's why it's the hardest. Whatever that's called in bowling. Shot.
To pick up the 7-10 split. Yeah.
Yeah. The Yeah, Principal Skinner. He calls a school assembly about the riot. Say, look, we're gonna have the uniforms, school uniforms. And they have I can't remember his name now. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Martin
Martin?
Martin Prince. I just had to think of Eat Up Martha and work my way backwards from that to remember his name. Yeah, Martin. You have Martin and Lisa modeling the uniforms. And part of that, Martin has there's that old timey thing where he has a belt with the books in it and slung over his shoulder. You ever done that? You're not that old. You are
No.
older than me, but not that much older.
No, I have never done that, and I can't imagine how the books don't like fall out when you do that.
Yeah, I think you have to make it real tight, and then you can't still like be careful. You can't swing it around; or they'll slip out. I'm sure.
hmm God, the temptation to actually swing it around like that must
Oh
be so
yeah,
high, though.
you have to. I guess it depends on the books. You can't have slippery books in there. I think it's fun that for the school uniforms that the girls get to wear berets. I don't know if that's a
hmm
normal school uniform thing. But I'm like, that's kind of cool. Let's see. So
So once
yeah.
Burns sobers up,
Mm-hmm.
he is upset about paying money for things. First, he does not remember writing a check for bowling. Uh, when Smithers points out that that's actually bowling.
Yes. Very funny.
And then he actually
Yeah.
runs into Homer's actual check that he gave to him, which is addressed to Poppin' Fresh. And for some reason, the bank let Homer cash that.
Told you, man. I signed all of my credit card receipts with a dick for like a year and a half. No one ever said
Yeah,
anything.
but like if it's a whoever it's addressed to should have to
Hmm.
present identification.
That's true. Well, maybe the person at the bank was also high on ether and thought it was the actual Poppin' Fresh. That's the only thing I
Oh
could think
yeah,
of.
that makes sense.
Yeah. I think Homer's got that body type where, yeah, anytime someone sees them and they're in a little bit of a hallucinatory state, that's the first thing they think of. Poppin' Fresh. Let's see. Yeah. The bowling that Mr. Burns had. That he forgot to do that one year or 1 month, and that really sucked or something. It was unpleasant for all concerned. And I wonder what it means to be bowled.
Mhm.
It's the opposite of being disemboweled, I guess. They just give you more bowels.
But then he has an unpredictable mood swing and decides that he would like to join the team.
Yeah. they have to kick Otto out, and he goes back to playing the claw machine, so he can win that Harvard diploma. It's pretty funny. Which I think Simpsons writers are mostly Yale people or mostly Harvard. It's one of the two. It's always dogging the other one. And they're always busting on Yale.
Hmm.
Yeah. They have a very funny thing with Mr. Burns where they go, okay, look, just let him try to bowl, and if he's bad at it, it'll be easier for me to tell him he can't be on the team.
And he's very bad at it.
Yes.
And always like, oh, it's not easier.
Yeah. That was funny. And then all the kids are, oh, there's another one for the Venn diagram. Yeah, so we go to the school. All the kids are in the uniforms. They're all blinking in unison. They have no ability to have fun anymore. Mrs. Crabapple? Wait, no, that's not us. Crabapple?
Krabappel.
Crabapple? Mrs. Crabapple. She's gonna rearrange her desk while they're all sitting there and just wiggling her butt around. And Bart lifts up his slingshot, but he can't remember what he's supposed to do. No. But. And even Nelson can't remember how to even ha-ha at somebody. Find out in Mr. Burns, he makes a little boat and puts it in Homer's beer, and then his fingernail falls off because of the leprosy. It's pretty funny.
The boat is meant to represent the friendship
Oh, that's right. Yes.
that they have. The only ship that matters.
Yes. Not the silly championship. Friendship. Something I'm going to start using, if I can remember it. Making a paper boat's pretty easy. Well, you ever made something out of paper and stuck it in someone else's drink at a bar?
I have not.
Yeah. It's a good idea that she did. So, Super Nintendo Chalmers. He comes back for a backup inspection of the school. And loves how boring everybody is until it starts raining.
Because the uniforms are not treated with color fast,
Right.
apparently.
So-
And much like Pleasantville, once the kids see color, they just get buck wild.
Yeah. Start rolling around in the mud and knocking over swing sets and stuff. And Skinner explains that, hey, this is the same place where I buy my mother's dresses. No, she's at the park. And he has to run to save his mother from wearing colors.
Hmm. And then goes back to the bowling alley where they're scheming to try and figure out
Yeah.
how to get Burns out of the championship round.
Yeah.
And Mo tries to Tanya Harding Burns' knee,
Yeah.
but it turns out that Burns was having knee problems already, and it actually helped him
Yeah.
when he was assaulted.
Like it right back into place. And they're gonna kick him off the team, but Mr. Burns says, "Oh, well, I got something for everybody." And they're the Pin Palace shirts. The iconic moment from this episode is those mint green Pin Pals bowling shirts. Bowling shirts.
Mhm.
People wear bowling shirts when they're on bowling teams. Remember bowling
Yeah.
shirts?
Bowling shirts are great.
Yeah.
Like I love the fashion of swingers.
Yeah. It's very fun. You ever had a
All
bowling
Western
shirt?
shirts and bowling shirts.
Yeah. Big old fedoras with feathers in them. I got a bowling.
Swingers was 96,
That sounds
so it
right.
was about
Oh
the same
wow.
time.
Yeah, very prescient. Very very hip, very cool.
Hmm.
I got a bowling shirt from a thrift store in California that was from the little independent movie theater that was around the corner from there. And so it
Hmm.
had the name of the movie theater on the back. It was black and white, and then the name that was stitched on it was Mac, which I thought was cool. I'm like, hey, I'm the Mac. But I keep it because it was a little too big, so I barely ever wore it. So then I eventually donated it to a Goodwill. I think here on Island, so somebody has it.
Outside of your actual uniform
Mm,
for when you were in the military,
right.
uh, have you had much clothes with your name embroidered on it?
Not embroidered, no. 'Cause I only ever worked at McDonald's where I
Hmm.
had a name tag, but it was a plastic one.
Hmm.
Yeah. You had an embroidered named shirt?
Not with my name though.
Oh yeah.
I had a uh, Stark Industries work shirt
Oh, cool.
that for the name it said Tony.
Nice.
I thought that was fun, so
Yeah,
I bought it.
that's fun. I had a Dickies work jacket that I also got at a thrift store that had something, I don't remember what the name was written on it, but it was way too big. It was too short and then also too big. Which was like,
Yeah, Dickies clothes are rather wide.
yeah.
I enjoy that because I am an overweight man,
Hmm,
and they are tough. They are extremely
that's
tough
true.
items of clothing.
Yeah, I think I tried to get into wearing Dickies stuff for a while. I was like, yeah, this is fine. But yeah, not my style. It's all Carhartt now, all for all the cool kids. They do the championship bowling game, and they're somehow only down by one pin at the last frame. But,
Hmm.
oh, Mr. Burns is very bad, and the Holy Rollers are constantly throwing strikes. I guess it's the stuff that we're not seeing when they're also very bad sometimes. When God's busy with something else.
Yep, but they are able to close the gap down one pin. Burns is up last, and he manages to hit two pins.
Yeah, because Otto's still on that claw machine. Weeks later, right?
Hmm.
Several nights later, at least. And he got the claw, has grabbed one of the screws of the machine, and he yanks that out and makes the machine fall over, and the impact of that rattles the pins enough that two of them fall over, and they win. And he gets his harmonica, his lobster harmonica, and chooses not to grab the Harvard diploma.
Hmm.
Which I like, 'cause, I mean, Otto is a musician. I don't think we've seen him really playing any music, but he does like playing guitar and stuff. So I think a harmonica is going to do him more for what he wants to do with his life than a Harvard diploma.
Yeah.
But we never see him play it, so maybe not. It was equally meaningless. But they win the trophy, and Mr. Burns takes it.
Hmm. Because he has another sudden change of heart, and he realizes that the most important person on the team is the winner,
Yes.
person who won the game, and that's him.
Yeah. It says, teamwork will only take you so far, but then the truly evolved person makes that extra grab for personal glory. And he compares himself to a boxer who has to shed roll after roll of sweaty, useless, disgusting flab. Yeah, Homer learns the lesson that I guess some people never change, or they quickly change and then quickly change back. Which is
Hmm.
absolutely what happens with Mr. Burns in this episode. Homer gets the trophy back by breaking into Burns' mansion and chased around by dogs. That's the end
Hmm.
of the episode.
But he also doesn't make it.
That's true. The dog get him. But
Yeah.
these are regular dogs, not dogs or bees, or dogs with bees in their mouths. So that when
Hmm.
they bark, they shoot bees at you. These are just regular dogs.
Have you ever played the video game Torchlight?
No.
There's a spell in there where you can have bees come out of the mouth of your pet.
Oh. They do that on purpose as The Simpsons. thing? I hope
I
so.
It's definitely on purpose. I don't know if it's a Simpsons reference, but I assume it is.
That's pretty cool. Maybe I'll play that on stream one day. Once I get
Mhm.
through the 996 other games I have to play first.
It is a extremely fun game, and there's a sequel that is also extremely fun, and there's a sequel to that doesn't look that great.
Oh, well,
Anyway, so
that's Team
that
Homer.
was that was Team Homer.
Yeah.
Next up is the seemingly never-ending story,
Yes.
which is the
Season 7.
the motif of this one that originally aired March 12th, 2006, is stories within stories within
Yeah,
stories.
it's actually a pretty cool idea for an episode. I'm gonna
Yeah,
take a quick break to go pee. I don't know if you want to vamp or I can just put the BRB screen up.
I would also like to be.
Okay, cool. So we'll be right back.
I was very tempted to go to the kitchen after I peed to go and grab a piece of chicken because
Oh,
I went to Popeyes right before.
nice. I also had Popeyes today. Hey,
Oh,
everybody, we're
nice.
back.
I mean, I haven't had Popeyes yet because I
Oh,
didn't eat. That is going to be what going to do after we get done talking about the seemingly never-ending story
yeah.
and comparing it to Team Homer. Uh, when did Inception come out, by the way?
That's a great question. I want to say 2010-ish, 10 or 11,
That
2010,
is correct.
2010. Yeah.
2000, July 13th, 2010 was the premiere.
Yeah.
So, uh, this is not a parody of Inception.
Oh.
It is not inspired by Inception. It
Hmm.
may have incepted the idea
No. The
in
Simpsons.
Christopher Nolan,
The Simpsons predicted Inception. Inception.
quite possibly. I don't actually know who wrote it.
I don't know.
I only know that Nolan was the director.
I think he generally writes the movies that he does. I think that's just a guess, though. I think he does.
When he did the Batman movies, he was working with his brother too, I think.
Yeah. So I mean, he might not be the only writer, but I think he is involved in the writing. Inception
Written
was written by
by
him.
Christopher
Yeah.
Nolan. Yeah. But yeah, his brother I used to see occasionally on the comic blogs. Uh, seems like a real prick.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is he a comic book guy?
Hmm.
Like the comic book guy from The Simpsons? That's what I picture.
No, much better shape.
Oh, okay. But attitude-wise, same vibes. That's my guess.
That kind of vibe, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Doesn't matter. Yeah, this is what this one starts with the Simpsons going to into a cave, Carlsbad Caverns, because it was discovered by Carl's dad, which is very fun. But Bart realizes that hey, we're gonna go in here and it's gonna be great. We're going in this cave. We're gonna learn all about the stuff in there, the things living and whatever. And then he realizes it's too late, that it's actually a nature walk. But Lisa has a nickel in a bottle for him to play with. Which is fun.
Which she is super, super into.
Yeah.
And I have never heard of that being a thing.
That would be a very annoying thing to give to a kid to play with. 'Cause
Mhm.
what becomes fun with it is shaking it around and annoying everybody with the sound of it.
Mhm.
You get the crinkle of the bottle and then also the a rattle of the nickel. It's asking for trouble.
Mhm.
They see a giant stalactite. It was that the local Anahupi Indians believe that the stalactite was their god, their god of pointing down, whose name Sisdinagini. But Homer, of course, is going to steal a piece of it to put on his desk at work,
Mhm.
and knocks the whole
Yeah, and
thing.
he actually knocks the whole thing down and ends up creating a slide
Yeah,
for everyone to fall into.
they all fall down to a big old cavern where he gets stuck upside down.
Mhm. And he says, "Oh no, I'm stuck. Also, I have to pee.
And
No,
then-
I'm just stuck."
Very funny.
That is a good gag.
Yeah,
Never gets old.
doesn't. It always works. Marge and Bart, they go off to find a way out of the cave, and Lisa stays to tell a story to Homer, but he can't have unicorns.
So she tells him that she's going to tell him a true story
Yeah,
about something that happened to her last week.
this is all canon. This is a true story. She's hiking around in the woods by herself, and then a bighorn sheep starts chasing her down, and she ends up at Burns' mansion. And they hide in his attic from from what Burns calls a woolly bully. 'Cause of course, that's what you would
Mhm.
call a big old sheep, big mean sheep.
Ole bole, ole bole,
Oh, look at that.
ole bole.
Woolly.
I remember the first time I heard that song, I'm just like, why does Adam Sandler not cover this? He has like the perfect voice.
Should. We should tweet at him. Is he on Twitter? We should blue sky him. I was looking at Twitter today, and I keep seeing more and more of the people that I follow on Twitter posting their blue sky links.
Mhm.
So I was like, maybe I should get on that. I didn't know that you'd still invite only.
Yeah.
So I was gonna I should ask everybody I know if they have an extra invite. But also, do I need more things in my life? I can probably just wait until it's open to everybody, right? Unless you have extra invites.
The two invites that I have currently are waiting on
Oh,
responses.
okay.
And also, I'm trying to prioritize trans and non-binary people.
No, that's great. That's great. So yeah, definitely
because
do
of
that.
how hostile an environment Twitter has become for them.
No, has it gotten worse?
I mean,
It was just the internet in
El-
general can't be good. But yeah.
yeah, the internet in general is bad. Elon recently decided that cis is a slur.
Oh, okay.
So anyone who's actively trying to have a real conversation can now be reported for hate speech,
Yikes.
basically.
Right. Yeah, so definitely, if you don't mind putting me on the list down at the very bottom, because I don't really mind if I ever really get one, because I don't do anything other than occasionally post about the show.
Hmm.
Um,
But who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe Blue Sky will be such a welcoming environment for you that you'll all of a sudden be like, I'm a social media guy.
I'm a social media guy. I deleted Facebook off my phone, and I'm not looking at Twitter very much. I
Mhm.
need something. I need something to be
Oh, you
social
can't look at
media.
Twitter very much right now
It's
because
true. It's
Elon
limited.
refused to pay his internet bill,
Oh no.
and uh, he deactivated the ability for people who aren't logged into Twitter to be able to view it. So
Oh.
every embedded Twitter link on an article or anything,
Hmm.
uh, basically it got a negative response, which made the article or whatever website that the embed was on
Hmm.
uh, re-inquire, and
Oh no.
it's an infinite loop,
Oh no.
and he DDoS'd himself, or he DDoS'd the website,
Right.
so he has to throttle the ability of people to repeatedly view. So that's why it's down to if you're not paying, you can only see 600 posts a day,
Yeah. That's crazy.
because that is someone who everyone thought was one of the smartest people in the world just a few years ago. And now we get to see that he is, in actuality, a fucking moron.
I was gonna look up Twitter's stock price, but is it delisted? Wait, no. What does that mean?
Didn't he take it private after he bought it?
Yeah, that's what it's. Yeah, it's delisted. Okay, that's why this stopped in October. I was like, wait, what's going on? Oh, okay, yeah. So there's no way to tell what the company's doing if anybody cares. Why is he
Oh,
doing
no, no.
this? What is he
It's
doing?
very easy to
Oh
tell
yeah, yeah,
how
yeah, yeah.
badly the company is doing.
It's just one of those things that you think if he does these things, then the stock price changes, it goes down or whatever, then he would stop it. But there's no stock price to change, so he can do
Yeah,
whatever
there's
he
no stock
wants.
price, so he can just do what he wants, and it's very difficult for him to tell exactly how badly things are going.
Oh man. Everybody get off of Twitter. Go to Blue Sky and follow at Chadwell. What is it? Let me turn your name back on.
Negative1.net,
Yeah.
a name that I was using before wrestler Brody Lee's son started going by Negative One.
No.
I was using it before that kid. I just want to make that clear.
You're not ripping him off. He's ripping you off.
No, well, he's never heard of me,
Ah.
so I would hesitate to say he's ripping me off.
When he went to go to register negative1.net, he saw you then.
No, I'm sure that his family could afford to give him negative1.com.
Ah.
Not that the family's like super rich or anything, but mom started working for AEW after the dad died,
Oh.
and he also, well, he doesn't work for them, but he is on TV uh, somewhat often, and he has a contract waiting for once he turns 18.
No. Okay. So yeah, they can afford a website. They can
Mhm.
afford the .com.
Yeah.
If they want it. What happens if you go to negative1.com? Everyone go to negative1.net. Don't bother going negative1.com.
Negative1.net is the site for everything that Chadwago does.
Nice. There it is. Oh, look at that. The Battle Royale right there on the front page.
Yep, that one has to be the main thing on there, because that is the only thing that I'm currently doing, really.
The negative1.com takes you to mikescloset.blogspot.com. That has not been updated in 10 years. Or one update in 2014. He's got it's an electrical engineer with a bunch of blueprints of circuit boards and shit. Okay.
Hmm,
Huh.
that's interesting.
Yeah. Or a blogspot? You ever had a blogspot? I started one but didn't do anything with it.
I think I had Blogger, not Blogspot.
Yeah, maybe that's what I had.
Never for sure.
If I write anything down, I can just say it into the ether here, but recorded forever on YouTube. Maybe we got a lot of YouTube copyright strikes on our our marathon stream, where all we did was watch videos that were already on YouTube.
Mhm.
So that video I think it's blocked on YouTube right now. That's okay. We still
That's
got the VOD here
weird.
on Twitch. Yeah. You got in trouble for watching YouTube videos on YouTube.
I don't understand that.
So I think all those, I guess, were older than whatever algorithm it was that caught it. And it's not going
But-
retroactive? I don't know.
I'm just generally not very good at copyright law.
Yeah. Or even their own terms of service. Well, if the original video that was already in violation of copyright, why would that watching that would be bad? But the video itself is not. Who knows?
Hmm.
Or we'll make clips of it one day. I need to do that before. Maybe that's what I'll be working on while we're on the break. When I have downtime. Going through that 12 hours. Find good clips. Good clip from this episode is where are we at? This episode. Right? What am I looking at? Oh, the Lisa and Mr. Burns are up in the attic, and Mr. Burns was Employee of the Month at Moe's Tavern.
And that leads to the story of how Mr. Burns lost everything, all of his worldly possessions to the Texan stereotype guy.
Right. I think the Rich Texan is what he's called. I think he definitely doesn't have a name.
Appearances.
That's the way we find out that that's what this episode is going to be.
Rich
is-
Texan.
Ah, there you go, Rich Texan. So this is Lisa telling Homer a story that was told to her by Burns. So we're 2 levels into the inception.
Hmm. Brum.
But yeah, the Rich Texan shows up at their exclusive club. What's it? There's something funny about that. Belongs to a very exclusive club that I don't know. Where'd Frankie Echo? He said something funny in the description. But anyways, Lisa tries to explain that this is like the movie within the play within the play in Hamlet, and Homer doesn't get it. And I've never seen Hamlet, so I wouldn't really get it either. And then she says, "Oh, it's like when you watch old home movies of you watching TV." Okay, got it. Which is that's what our stream was a video of us watching old videos that were
Yeah.
themselves a remix of an old video.
Mhm.
So really, this inceptioned us without even watching it yet.
Yeah, I can't wait until the year that we have that we just start streaming reaction videos.
I think people do that. It's gotta be. There's somebody on Twitch
where
is doing
we
that right now.
where we react to reaction videos.
Yeah, somebody has to be doing that right now on Twitch. If not, I'll do my own reaction stream. Reacting to reaction
Mhm.
videos. Did I ever tell you that I want to? You know how they have those videos where it's like a real doctor reacts to doctor scenes in movies or whatever,
Mhm.
right? I want to do one where it's like a real asshole reacting to people being assholes in movies, those kinds of
Mhm.
scenes, and just talk through my butt like Ace Ventura. That would be fun. It's a fun idea. I don't want to actually do it because I don't want to bend over and write the whole thing and then perform it through my butt. Seems like a lot.
That's one of those things where you know how I was saying like 90 seconds of any given
Mm.
Steam tabs is enough.
Yeah,
That's one of those things where it's like, however long you would think that you would need to make the sketch to make it work,
right.
you only really need about 20% of that to get the idea
Yeah.
across of what's
'Cause
happening.
that's what's funny about it is that that part when it's like, oh, he's talking to his butt. It's his actual ass. So yeah, it could be like a TikTok. I don't know. If there's a time limit to TikToks, but I feel like they're generally pretty short, and it would probably work just fine.
There's for sure a maximum time limit.
Hmm.
I don't know about minimum.
Right. But it ended up being
Most of mine are extremely short.
Yeah. One of those. I'm one of those old people that have only seen TikToks when they are copied and pasted onto Facebook or YouTube.
or Twitter.
Yeah, or Twitter.
That is where all of my TikTok knowledge came from before I started actually like watching it,
Right.
which I highly recommend TikTok. It is probably the most faithful algorithmic uh, social media site
Hmm.
possible because it is made to show you what you like,
Right.
as opposed to Twitter, which is like, uh, oh, so this is the kind of person you are. All right, so let's show you what someone who could be your mortal enemy is saying right now.
Right. It still drives that engagement, but also drives you crazy.
Hmm.
Yeah, I like the idea of TikTok, except for the whole China part of it, which is like, I don't know how much I trust that.
I mean, like, as a watcher, what kind of information are you afraid of them
That's
getting?
true. Yeah. Well, what kind of stuff I'm watching? Because it's gonna. I don't want to turn it Instagram. I want just watching big boobied cosplayers or whatever.
Yeah, what?
Big booby cosplayers on Instagram.
Hmm.
That's all I use it for. That and fitness tips.
Yeah, no. Instagram. The thing about Instagram though is you have to be very careful.
Oh
Like
yeah.
watching one or two things that do not follow the trend of what you generally are watching
Right.
is enough to just be like, well, this feed is literally just supposed to be tits and ass, and now I have to watch all these fucking baseball reels. And the more baseball reels that I watch, the worse my reel recommendation gets.
yeah.
Because I watched a couple of fucking baseball videos 3 months ago.
It's not even baseball season anymore, or is it? I don't know. It's still hockey season. That seems to go on for 11 months out of the year.
I think baseball season starts in like May
I think
or
so.
something.
I feel like it's a summer sport, right?
I don't know exactly when it
I don't know.
starts.
Not a sports
I know it
person.
finishes in October though.
Ah. So Mr. October. I'm not sure who that is, but I know that's a baseball man.
Hmm.
But yeah, the Rich checks in. He comes into the rich people club, and he starts bullying Burns a little bit, explaining that he's an oil man, but Burns, he's a nuclear power guy. He uses money. He makes money by using his brain, not sticking the stick in the ground and praying for goo or whatever, something like that.
And Rich Texan laughs and then dumps a bunch of oil on
Yeah.
Burns.
And he challenges him to a duel, and he shoots a hole right in the mirror. He shot him in the head. But
They decide that instead of the duel, or instead of a pistol duel, they're going to have a scavenger hunt.
yes. And at some point in this conversation, I lost where it happens. But we get to my Frankie act from this episode. I found the video of it because it's just very funny. That Mr. Burns says this.
Dream on, bitch.
I don't know. I don't remember what the context was, but
I want to say that that's right before the lists are given out. The scavenger hunt
yes,
lists.
that's what it was. That's it. Yeah, 'cause he says, "I'm gonna win me a nuclear power plant." There, I found it. Mr. Burns explains to
Dream
him.
on, bitch.
That'll be a video command soon. Check that out next week, probably.
Hmm. And Burns maintains a slim lead for most of the competition, I
Yeah.
feel like. Until they get to the last item on the list, which is a picture of you with a smiling child. So Burns tries to get on board the school bus, and the children start screaming.
yeah. And so he gets a picture of him with a bunch of screaming children, but not a smiling one.
Hmm.
They do. They each have to get a Homer hair. So they sneak in pluck one of the two hairs off of Homer's head. And then he finally goes, "Oh, I'm bald," and he has to get a toupee, which is like a bald cap with two hairs on top.
hmm
Very funny.
But yeah, so Smiling Texan is able to get a picture with smiling children before Burns does, and so Burns loses everything and is forced to go and work at Moe's Tavern,
Yeah.
where he gets mocked relentlessly by the customers, and Homer shows him a stupid dance that he would like Burns to perform, and the longer it takes for Burns to do it, the more Homer dances to show him how he's going to dance and how he's
Yeah.
going to be like, I'm stupid. Look
Yes.
at me. I'm so stupid. And he's still dancing. And it just wonderful joke.
Yeah, it's very fun.
Mhm. It is exactly how dumb Homer should
Yeah. And even Lenny's like, "Man, Burns sure is gonna look dumb doing that later."
be.
And then Burns finds out that at 5.15 an hour, it's gonna take him forever to make his fortune back, especially with FICA, and then also Moe's special FICA.
hmm
Oh, and with the I guess we'll get to it later, but with the Italian subtitles for this episode, and I guess the other ones I wasn't paying attention in other episodes, but Moe isn't called Moe in Italy; it's called Boe, B-O-E. Very strange difference. So I wonder what Moe means in Italian. I don't know,
hmm
or what Boe is short for in Italian. Who knows? Yeah, he Burns. He finds a letter stashed under the pickled eggs. You ever had a pickled egg?
I have not,
I don't think I've
and
seen
I have
one.
no interest.
Yeah,
I've seen them for sure.
I haven't. I've seen like those weird, those Chinese like century eggs. I've seen those. Never had one. But like just an egg floating around in a jar of pickle juice. I've never seen. Definitely would never eat one.
I wonder what Mo is called in Japan.
Oh, that's a good question. Because that's a word in Japanese, right?
Moe.
Yeah.
Uh, it's like some anime thing. I
Yeah.
think.
I've seen it in that context, but I don't know what kind.
Like I want to say it's creepy attraction to underage anime characters, but I'm
Oh.
not sure
That's why I've seen that word so many times.
because it says that the two definitions that I keep running into looking it up
Hmm.
is
Oh no.
a Japanese word that means budding or to sprout or bloom.
Oh.
And the other one is feelings of strong affection towards characters in anime.
Oh, okay.
So it's just like, I
Maybe it's your
feel
feelings are
like,
sprouting. Yeah.
yeah, but I think that it's generally your feelings are sprouting towards someone who is sprouting.
Right. Oh, okay.
But I don't know for sure. You
Yeah.
can correct me if you have problems with my translation of language that I don't know.
Right.
Feel free to mention it in
Yes.
chat.
But you are Japanese, so people can only get so mad at you.
Yeah, you can get madder than that.
No, we're gonna have to do a whole anime and hentai learning week one day. We'll have Joe teach us all about it.
Yeah, I definitely would like to say for the record that we do not need to watch hentai stream marathon.
Right, yeah. Not for 12 hours.
No, that's ridiculous. If we were gonna watch anime though, that for the marathon, uh, I wouldn't be generally opposed to it.
Yeah, we could do
I
that.
may be specifically opposed to it, depending on what it is.
I've only watched a few. Watched Fooly Cooly and then Neon Genesis Evangelion are the only two I think that series I've watched all the way through.
Mhm.
Never been a big anime verse.
Well, Fooly Cooly is real easy to watch all the way through. It's like 6
Yeah,
episodes.
it's pretty easy. And they played it a lot on Adult Swim, so it's pretty easy to get through
Mhm.
all of them.
Yeah. And the soundtrack is a fucking banger.
Yeah, it's so good. It's all the
Or as
pillows.
the kids say, it slaps. But yeah, so while Burns is cleaning up Moe's bar, he finds a letter underneath the tip jar
Yeah.
that Moe has written in case he dies about the location of his treasure.
So this is where we get.
And
Oh, go on.
this is the third level of story.
Yes.
So Lisa is telling a story to Homer that she was uh, that is the story she was told by Burns, that Burns was told by the letter from Moe.
Yeah. And it starts with Mo. He's going to go pick up some urinal cake mix from the store. Which I think is very funny that you have to make your own urinal cakes from some
Mhm.
kind of mix.
And he sees Edna Krabappel fresh to Springfield, like
Yeah.
she just moved, and immediately Mo is smitten, and
Yeah.
uh,
He gets hit.
Edna
He gets hit by her
seems.
bus, and she comes off the
Mhm.
bus and says, "Oh, you poor man." Which I feel like all of Mo's romantic relationships start with a woman saying, "Oh, you poor man."
Yeah, he is generally speaking, it being an object of pity seems to work for him.
Yeah. But hey, if it works.
Mhm.
What were you saying? Sorry, I cut you.
I don't remember
Oh, okay.
anymore.
Well, she asks Mo what he does for a living, and starts bringing up that he owns or he knows a tavern nearby. They ask for they're gonna go do something or whatever. She's like, "No, my ex-husband was a drunk. I don't want to go to bars or nightclubs, and definitely not taverns." So he takes his apron off and explains that he's actually like a counselor for alcoholics or something.
Hmm.
So he kicks everyone out of the bar. This is where the meme is from. He starts grabbing everyone, throws them out of the bar, so he can
Hmm.
shut it down. And he throws Barney out, and then he'll throw out Lenny, and then Barney again, and then Carl, and then Barney. And he's like, how do you keep getting back in? He's like, I'm a drunk. I don't know how I do anything. And he throws him out, and then immediately he's right behind him.
Hmm.
So this is the
That's the source of that
that's
meme.
the source of that meme from 2006.
I feel like we get at least one meme source a week.
Yeah, Simpsons chock full of memes.
Hmm. It's the origin of memes.
Yeah, it's where all memes can be traced back to The Simpsons.
Not all of them, but
No.
a lot.
Yeah, even those that don't directly do, there's still you can jump onto it pretty. You can find
You could probably build some sort of connection to The
yeah,
Simpsons.
you can break out the red string and do it.
Hmm.
But Mo explains that for one wonderful summer he was a true gentleman, and as a result of which Krabappel was letting me do her, which is a pretty funny way of thinking of it.
Hmm. I really enjoyed when he ran into Homer and Carl and Lenny
Yeah,
and Barney on the street, and I thought, oh no, they're going to ruin it for Mo, because they're going to reveal that he was a bartender,
yeah.
and they're just yelling at him, "Damn it! I've been sober for so long because of you." And it's like, oh, that's a good gag.
Yeah, it's funny. It's like yeah,
Having them complain in such a way that it keeps up the illusion.
that's really well done. Yeah, really like that. That happened.
Hmm.
And
But it also gives the origin story of Snake Jailbird.
yeah, it's true. So he needs the money for them to skip out on town, um, because she's there to become the fourth grade teacher, but it's summertime, so it hasn't actually happened yet. But
Hmm.
she tells him about how she's gonna be the teacher for the new fourth grade class, new fourth grade teacher at Springfield Elementary School, and they go, "Oh, those wonderful kids." And then it brings us to the your Frankiac for this episode. Which
Where
Nelson.
Martin is screaming, "Lab partners, don't treat lab partners like this." And Nelson says, "Shut up and attract lightning."
Yeah, it's fun.
Hmm.
There's a little key on the cat. I missed that earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is a
Like he actually is doing the experiment. He
yeah.
actually is replicating it.
That's basically how Ben Franklin did it.
Mhm.
But oh yeah, when Mo tells the guys to get out of there, he's like, "Hey, you guys, get out of here! Don't mess this up for me. I will out the one of you that is gay," and then they all run away. Which,
Mhm.
I hope I'm allowed to laugh at that because I thought it was funny.
I thought it was really interesting that Homer also rapped.
Yeah, because I think they all have at least one pseudo gay thought or experience that Mo might know about that he could help them
Mhm.
for. Because everybody does. It's a spectrum. No one's all the way 100% over in one end or the other.
I mean, there are like, uh, what is straight? Is that a 0 on the Kinsey scale,
I think so.
or is it like the
In the
maximum
middle,
score?
I don't know.
No, it's definitely not in the middle.
Oh, okay.
It's the
One
top
end
or
of the
bottom
spectrum,
end of
right?
the scale. I'm not sure.
I want to say 0, but I don't know. I've only read about it on Wikipedia. I haven't watched the movie or anything, or taken the test.
Or watched Masters of Sex.
No, I haven't watched that either.
Is that what that's from? I want to say that that's one of the
Maybe
things
that
that that's
sounds like
from.
the thing. I never watched it, so I can't. I don't know.
0 is exclusively
Oh,
heterosexual.
there you
6
go.
is exclusively homosexual. And 3 is equal.
Right. I figure most people aren't, a full 0 or a full. They go to
Yeah.
7? Is that the pH scale? What am I thinking? Does it go to 7?
No, it only goes to 6.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the next marathon we do, if we hit one of our stretch goals, it'll be we'll have to take this Kinsey scale quiz. See where we are.
I feel like most of us are going to be like 1s or 2s.
Yeah, that makes sense. Depends on who we have on the stream with us. We need to make more diverse
Yeah.
friends. Oh, where did I just close the thing?
Yeah, and so one
Yes.
day
Snake
or
shows up.
before
Yeah.
before she leaves oh yeah, sorry, I forgot about Snake.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Snake shows up with a bag of gold coins.
Yeah.
And he's apparently an Indiana Jones style paleontologist.
Yeah. It's got the hat and the whip,
Hmm.
the jacket. He's a law-abiding young archaeologist, not a notorious jailbird. And the word for
Hmm.
jailbird in Italian, I forgot it. Delinquente. Delinquente. Instead of jailbird. I don't know if they left his name as Snake. I wasn't paying attention. Or Serpente.
Serpente delinquente.
Yeah, Serpente Delinquente. Like the sound of that.
That sounds even more made up than Snake Jailbird.
Yeah, it's Serpente. Serpente. Or Vipera, Cobra.
Simpsons Italia, Serpente, Chiamato, Anici, Serpe, Vipera o Cobra, y un personaggio de Simpson. Doesn't say anything about his last name.
Yeah, interesting. Also, I went off of when they mention Jailbird here, where he's described as a jailbird, not his
Mhm.
last name being Jailbird. So I don't know. Have to look it up.
Did you know that there's a Italian Simpsons wiki?
I just found it right now.
Okay,
Now I
so
wanna
you
start
were
that.
reading along with me.
Yes, I was.
Did I make you want to skip ahead? Was I going too slowly?
No. It was good.
Okay.
It wasn't any faster than I would have read it out loud.
I'm sure your accent would have been slightly better though.
Probably. I have practiced it for several hours.
Yeah, that is several hours longer than I've ever practiced speaking
It's true.
Italian. Closest I get to speaking Italian is just holding my hand up like this.
Wait, I did get my wife a set of chocolates that had Italian hand gestures on it. for birthday? Was that the last time we
Mhm.
had gifts for? Must have been. Yeah, 'cause her birthday's in the end of April. Yeah, and she left at the beginning of May. Yeah, or middle of May. Must have been it. Must have been a birthday gift. But yeah. So,
Oh
so
yeah,
Bente delinquente.
I even see mention of Mo in this article
Oh, yeah.
because there's a part of it that says alla fine dopo aver uccisio uccisio I don't know apu I boy Homer Chovendosi, and it's like, oh boy, I know that name.
Yeah, I told you that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't make that up.
Hmm.
Mo's name is Boy. Bowie. Boy Sislak. Boy Lester Sislak.
Boy.
Un personaggio dei Simpson. Oh wait, I think it said something about Mo. Wait, where'd it go? Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Benki, il suo nome nella versione originale sia Mo, short for Morris. So originally his name was Mo, but Tonino Accola ha deciso di cambiarne il nome in Boy perché suoi dire l'originale sono nuova. Come la parola Mo in napoletano o romano risultando imbarazzante. So the word Mo in Naples or in Rome
Hmm.
is embarrassing. I don't know what risultano imbarazzante means. We're getting close. We're getting close to the answer here. Resulting embarrassing. Oh, I guess that just means that it'd be embarrassed. It's an embarrassing name. I don't know. I'm not going to translate this whole sentence, but I think that's what I decided to change the name from the original. Because Coma la parola. Like the word. Yeah, so the word Mo it's like the word, the Italian or Roman word for, it's to say what it's the Italian. It doesn't matter. I don't know. I'm getting so much into this. Whatever. It was an embarrassing sounding word.
Hmm. You should totally start reading these wiki uh, entries,
Yeah.
these wiki entrances, these wiki entries uh, as part of your Italian
I
streams.
should be. I should do that. Yeah. I only have a couple weeks left of doing that because once I go to Italy, and once I get back from Italy, I'm never studying Italian again, probably. So I got to
Hmm.
get it in now.
Once once you speak it for a little bit, uh, promptly forget.
Yeah.
No reason to learn it.
There's really no reason to, unless I make an Italian friend or something.
Hmm. But yeah, so Mo steals the gold coins
Oh yeah.
from
He has a very funny
Snake.
thing when Snake leaves the bar, and he goes, "All right, I had an awful dilemma. Should I rob this guy, or rob him and kill him?" So I did the right thing and just robbed him.
Hmm.
But yeah, that's the origin story for Snake. He's gonna take his
Yep,
revenge on society.
through robbing convenience stores.
Yeah.
And so Mo is getting ready to leave Springfield forever with Edna, but she goes to the school to explain to Skinner why she is not going to be working in the fall.
Yeah.
And she runs into Bart, who says that he has detention all summer,
Yeah. Just by himself.
and yeah, he just needs someone who could teach him and believe in him.
And that melts her icy heart. And she goes, "Well, I'm gonna
So,
stay here and make sure you make it through the fourth grade."
mhm. And Mo, when she informs him that she has to help kids like that, which, by the way, that is also another story.
Oh yeah, that's right. Cause he wasn't there for that.
Hmm.
So she must have told him that.
Yeah.
That's
I don't think that I don't remember them giving her the thought bubble
actually they do.
story lead
I'm
in
looking
though.
at the
They
yarn
do.
videos of it, and they do. Ah,
Okay.
we just didn't catch it. We just weren't paying it. But here we go.
Mhm.
We're another level in.
Yep. Brum.
Boom. Getting incepted so hard, we don't even catch when we're being incepted.
Mhm. But yeah, so Mo reacts badly.
Yeah, very badly. Oh, and we also learned that Bart didn't have detention for a whole summer. He was
Mhm.
just lying. It was a load of crap to keep her distracted while Nelson stole microscopes and also a skeleton. And they wrote
A lot of
a
stuff.
lot of stuff. Yeah, and they graffitied "Munch my butt" on the side of the school. Yeah, but Mo freaks out when she says she's gonna stick around. Calls her a crazy skirt. Says no one backs out on fake good Mo.
Mhm.
Oh, please. And he puts all of the gold coins in the jukebox, playing their song over and over again.
Which Burns takes out in order to take to Rich Texan to get all of his stuff back,
Yeah,
and he has given everything except for his power plant back, which he still doesn't have as of the time that he's relating the story to Lisa.
that's
But
true.
Rich Texan does tell him that he will give him back the power plant under the condition that he takes a picture with a smiling child.
Yeah, because he's got OCD.
Hmm.
And shoots his gun and has to tap his foot 4 times. He does that many, many times.
Hmm.
Something else I wanted to. Oh, they it's funny that there were gold coins all in that jukebox this whole time because Homer, in the last episode we watched, Homer the Mo, he busted his hand straight through there. He was so close to having a treasure full of gold coins, just didn't bust the jukebox in the right place. Mr. Burns
Hmm.
did. That's for the double Venn diagram that we're definitely not gonna do.
And so Lisa takes the picture with Burns so that he
Yeah.
can get his power plant back.
Because he saves her from the bighorn sheep. It breaks its way up into the attic, and he sacrifices his life for her. He says to the sheep, "Take me, a barren old thistle, and spare this sweet young flower," which sounds like a real weird Mo thing to say.
Hmm.
But then turns out, yeah, the bighorn sheep just had found her pearl necklace and was trying to return it to her, and speaks to her in sheep language. And does we get another inception there of it telling the story of finding her necklace.
Hmm.
And it does whack Mr. Burns right in the chest and knocks him over. And he explains, "I sacrificed my gorgeous body for nothing. This must be what it's like to have a baby." Pretty funny.
That is very funny. And Homer also points out that the whole reason why they're going on the nature walk is that he saw Rich Texan take the gold into the cave.
Yes. So they have to find the gold because Bart needs it'll pay for Bart's operation.
Hmm.
Bart goes, "I need an operation." That's a story for another day. So we got to figure out what's going on with Bart's operation one day.
Hmm.
But then Rich Texan tells him to give him the gold. Mr. Burns has an old timey gun. Everyone's pointing guns at each other. Mo shows
Mo
up.
shows up with a baseball bat and is like, "Oh, I didn't realize we were going to use guns here." So he steps back into the shadows and
Yeah.
he cocks his bat.
So funny.
But Marge ends up threatening to throw away the money in order to make everyone act peaceably towards each other,
Yeah.
and they refuse to do so. So she chucks the gold into the pit,
As she should.
and uh, Rich Texan and Mo are both like, "Oh, okay, all right." Not Mr. Burns though. He
Yeah.
immediately climbs down into the giant hole
Yeah, it's
with presumably no way of getting out for old man with no muscle.
it's true. He's gonna live down there with his gold like Gollum.
hmm And uh, then everything turns out to be a story that Bart
Yes.
was telling Skinner about why
Yeah.
he didn't do some homework.
And Skinner is like, do you expect me to believe that? And he looks out the window, and Moen and Carbuncle are kissing. And he finds out that even though he owns a tavern, she still would want to be with him, because at this point she
hmm
just wants a man with a healthy libido. And that's where it gets,
Doesn't Mo go, yeah, about that?
yeah, this is where it gets awkward again.
hmm
That's the episode.
All right, it is 8:30. I am very hungry. Uh,
Yeah.
I would say the seemingly never-ending story is a lot better than I expected it to be.
Yes.
But Team Homer's just a better episode.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you. I saw on the poll I did on the Simpsons Discord that it's 4-1 for people saying their seemingly never-ending story being the better
Really?
episode. And I like the whole Inception thing of it,
hmm
and I like the most story, but I don't like the Burns story. So it's like, nah. And then a lot of the Team Homer stuff wasn't as memorable as I thought it would be. It's like all of the stuff you really remember, like the T-shirt, the shirt has happened in the last minute of the episode. So I don't know,
hmm
it's pretty close. Oh, and I feel like maybe it's time for a later episode to beat an earlier episode, because it's kind of a mid season 7 episode, but a pretty good season 17 episode.
hmm
Oh.
The, the Team Homer is not everything you want it to be,
Right.
but I think that it still holds together very well. There are just points where the episode drags.
That's true. Oh,
All right, so I said Team Homer.
yeah.
What do you say?
Thing.
Do you also say Team Homer? Don't let
Yeah.
what the Discord vote
Right.
sway you in
I really
any
shouldn't have
way.
looked at it before I was finished watching the episodes.
hmm Unless you want to be the deciding vote, and me for Team Homer versus the Discord
Yeah.
people voting for a seemingly never-ending story, and you have to be the deciding
Right.
vote.
And it's up to me. 'Cause I feel like, yeah, because it does drag. And I like the novelty of that. The problem with watching an episode for the first time is I don't really have all of the ability to really think about it objectively. Let me see. Oh, you got to get going. So I'm gonna go with the Down with Homework is pretty iconic. That whole thing, even though it's weird that it takes so long to get through all the Bart stuff.
hmm
I like the Bart stuff more than the Mr. Burns stuff, but then I think I like the Moe stuff more than the Pin Pal stuff. So I think I have to give it gives a slight edge to Team Homer. So I think I'm gonna go Team Homer this week.
Okay.
But then we'll have them pretty close, I think, in the rankings when I get to that.
Oh yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah.
Like seemingly never-ending story. That's like above Fat Man and Little Boy
Oh yeah,
for sure.
definitely. Because you just watched Fat Man and Little Boy, so you know that.
hmm
But I always forget every time I go to. The thing about Bracket Clouds, you have to log in every time. It doesn't keep the
hmm
logins. So I'm going to log in, and then I will. I'll add it. Yeah, thanks for coming in, Chad.
Oh yeah, no problem. Uh, are you able to sign in?
It takes a while to. The thing is about Bracket Cloud is that it's from 2013. I think they stopped supporting it a while ago. I don't think anyone even is doing anything with it in a while.
Oh, okay.
So I'm hoping that it'll still be around in another 10 years. I
hmm
need to back this up somehow. But the thing is, once we get to the second round, if we could keep it around for another 5 years, I think there are other bracket programs and services we can use. There's nothing that I found that does 512 brackets. So it's something we kind of have to use unless I make something on my own, which might be the way
Mhm.
to do it. Maybe that's something I'll work on over the break. Yeah. Team Homer.
All right.
Moving on.
Team Homer. Moving on.
And next.
Right, and
Oh, so next week we're not gonna.
Bo-
Yeah, we're not gonna be streaming for the rest of the month of July. We'll be back first week of August.
okay. So that would be the first Monday in August is the 7th.
Yeah, the 7th. And that's when we'll be watching Boy Scouts in the Hood versus the Boys of Bummer, which I don't know if you know this about the Boys of Bummer, but that's the only episode I saw on the Simpsons wiki that has a trigger warning at the beginning because Bart contemplates suicide in that episode.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. But,
What? So how's the master list looking
yeah, Master List.
with all the episodes in order?
Yeah. Let's see. Where should this go? I want to put them above these.
I think both of them are above Bible story.
Yeah.
Um,
This,
I would also put both above Bart Gets Famous.
yeah. Where's the genius? This is really where I don't. So where the crosswords is so high up. I feel like we need to redo these, but we're not going to.
No, we're not going to.
No. Low natural diddly. So I think it's going to be under that. Yeah. Under this. I don't know why this is
What's above Homer versus the 18th Amendment?
here. This one. Too Bad Neighbors. Another
Okay,
Simpsons
yeah.
episode.
It's definitely below all of those.
Yeah. I want to say probably right above crosswords.
For the seemingly never-ending story.
Yeah.
Okay.
Seemingly never ending in story season 17. And Team Homer probably not too much higher.
It's definitely under Two Bad Neighbors.
Yeah.
I'm just not sure how far under. Like, do you think it's above Bart Has Two Mommies?
That was Rod and Todd become surrogate children for Marge, and then Bart gets kidnapped by a monkey.
Mm-hmm.
This is Homer starts a bowling team with a bunch of characters we never really talk about. Kind of want to go under Bart Has Two Mommies.
That works for me.
Yeah.
Does it go below Alone Again, Natural Diddly?
Because that one's even more iconic of an episode,
But also not full of gags.
yeah, it's not as funny of an episode. But the funny parts are pretty funny.
Mm-hmm.
And you get all the memes. This is less memes. I think you get higher highs but lower lows than Alone Natural Diddle. Which makes me want to put it under. I'm going to put it right under Alone Again, Natural Diddly.
That works for me. It does really show how close these two episodes were.
Yeah.
Team Homer.
Homer. 7. Okay. That's the rankings. Real quick, we'll just look at the Venn diagram from week 27.
Lots of the same cast.
Yeah, very fun that we get Smo, Burns, and Snake all together as part of like the main story. And then Barney, Lenny, and Carl not being able to drink or choosing not to drink is the whole part of the plot. And then Emma Bopple's butt. Bart wanting to shoot a slingshot at it, and then I think Mo wanting to touch it. I guess it's not explicit about her butt in the second one, but you know.
Yes.
Things that are different. There's a Vietnam flashback in Team Homer, but Wooly Bully is a thing in Seemingly Never-Ending Story, but not at all related to the Vietnam War. But it's something that always shows up in a Vietnam War movie, right?
Or at least movies about the 60s.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's... Yeah, so not next week, but next month we'll do Boy Scouts in the Hood, and the other one, Boys of Bummer. Is that everything? That's all of our stuff. We got too many. I think maybe I don't know. I guess the Venn diagram doesn't take that much stream time. It just takes a little more time to do. But not really.
Yeah.
Much. But yeah, that's it. That's gonna be it for our Simpsons streams for a month.
All right, we will reconvene in
Yes.
August. Until then, please make sure to keep watching Simpsons, so that by the time we get done with this in 9.5 years, that we can do a whole nother bracket.
Oh yeah, that's right. Keep the Simpsons on the air. So I don't know. There's not another 508 episodes after this. It's slightly less than that, I think.
Hmm.
But by then there should be. So let's keep the Simpsons on the air, no matter how much
Yes.
it seems like it's unnecessary.
We are just about to wrap up, Lindsay. We start at 6:30 every Monday.
Yeah. But thanks for coming in.
Yeah,
Sorry
Uh,
you.
we appreciate all our viewers, but I appreciate eating dinner more.
Right. When this is not a mukbang stream. Not
Yeah.
yet. Even though I
I
did
mean,
eat 12
it could be
cheeseburgers
if
the other day. 11 cheeseburgers.
David really needs money.
Yeah. I'll do it. I showed feet on Saturday.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he
Lindy,
did, the tops and the bottoms.
you're still listening to my skull. I'm sorry that you don't get to do that.
That you could always listen to old episodes while you scroll
It's true.
TikTok.
We do have a 12-hour long steamed hams stream if you want to listen to that.
Yeah, there's got to be at least 4 hours of entertaining stuff in there. Maybe even 6.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, have fun in Italy, David.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, we like chatting with you. Wish we could have gotten you in a little earlier so we could have chatted with you more.
Yeah, but we will be back in August.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, Lindsay and I are actual friends in real life,
Oh,
so she
awesome.
can always message me, and I reply to her within 48 hours.
Nice. That's actually a pretty good response rate.
I usually try to react as soon as I see stuff, but not always great.
Right. Okay.
But I'm leaving because I'm hungry.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Bye, Jen. Have a good night. Good seeing you. Lindsay, thank you for showing up. But sorry, we have to end the stream now because it's dinner time. But hope you have a really good night. I wish you a clip. They asking. Oh, right. Yeah. There's so many. Yeah. But have a good night. It was great to see you. And we'll see you later. One.